many questions that will be asked, and we need answers. The public need answers to these questions because this cannot continue happening. And when these things happen, it reflects negatively on the CDC-led government. When these things happen, it reflects negatively on the president, on the presidency. It's not about Martin here. It's not about Moses Colley. It doesn't have any negative impact on them. They are not in the presidency. They are not the president of Liberia. So when this thing happens, it has a negative impact on President George Weah. And we think it is about time that the president steps down hard. If there is need for technocrats to lead these institutions, let technocrats go there. But if it is feasible for administrators to go there, then the technocrats should help these administrators. Again, administrators at the Liberia Airport Authority and the Liberia Civil Aviation Authority should be open to the technocrats. If you go to a place where you don't have any idea, if you go to an institution, if you work at an institution where you don't have the technical know-how, you are just an administrator. Why will you step on or sabotage those who have the know-how? Why will you sabotage them? Why will you place them in a condition or situation where they will not open up to you? And we believe that this is exactly what's happening. There's no difference from the old RIA to the new RIA. We don't believe with the references we set, with the examples, with the references we've made. We can keep going back and forth on the same stuff. What happened in 1999 that resulted to the crash of an aircraft that Joseph Tate was riding along 7% should not be happening now. Power outage. There was no electricity at the airport. Absolutely, there was no electricity. So that plane flew around, spent all this and happy for a number of times, and they had to crash because those people that are responsible to keep that signal on, that will signal to the pilots that you can land, that everything is safe. It did not happen that time. So Joe Tate and the others died. Air France, Air France, alongside Delta Airlines, had to leave Liberia during Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's regime because the runway was not. Imagine Air France officials stating that the runway was rocked, and at one point in time, Air France, one of the flights had to experience technical problems because the runway was not good. $500,000, and some things had technical issues. A lot of technical problems were caused due to the dilapidated airport. Caused technical problems for Air France. Air France had to leave. The same thing with Delta Airlines. Papa, Delta Airlines, because I was a kid, we used to go around the airport, and we used to like enjoy seeing the plane come, the aircraft coming to land. Delta Airlines was one of the bigger airplanes. I saw Delta is easy to see. Delta Airlines, very big. Those flights have to suspend. Nari suspend have to leave Liberia, not do business. And these are the things that we also. Brussels now is one of the major flights across the world. So we don't want a situation where these flights companies will say, okay, we believe that we think they are incompetent people. We don't want to. And one of the greatest reasons why the people will not want to do business like Liberia again is because if the lives of individuals, people, who knows how many persons were on board Brussels airline, and then you put these people lives in harm's way. What if mistake? What if our own naivety, our own negligence will result to the deaths of so many people? We don't want that, and so we believe this is the time. Let's forget about the game blame. Let's forget about the blame game and do the right things at the right time to save lives and to ensure that we do not lose these people. Because if we lose Brussels Airlines and other flights, it will hamper our national revenue generation. We think this is important, this is paramount, and this is about time that those who are in authority act in the right decision, take the right decisions, and make the right policies for this for the good of our country and the benefit of this government. This is what we think. It is important. I think Amapapa can come in, then we can join our guests.
Yeah, I think you've said a lot about it. In any case, I don't know if you've flown before. Uh,
I haven't flown, but I will soon fly very soon.
it's an experience.
Yeah.
I've done that about 4 times. But when you're in the air, all for me, I know a lot of people might find pleasure being up there, but for me, whenever I'm in the air, especially on board a plane or flight, the only thing I pray for is to land. I've never enjoyed that experience. Okay, it's an experience, but it's not as enjoyable. I haven't had that time to enjoy it yet. But I always just wanted to land because you see, when you're flying there, so many thousand feet above sea level, you're afraid of free fall. So everything there is technically horrible. You when you look through the windows of the plane, sometimes when you see down, you say, "Wow." But you only praying like me. I'm only praying to land, and so everything must be done so as to land that plane safely.
Yeah.
The pilot, the co-pilot, the aviation authorities on the ground, and even the runway. That is where the plane lands and taxis before it can come to what you call stop until
Yes.
people get up. Everything
I
has to
think the
be
runway is good now. Initially, the runway was bad.
right.
That's some of the reasons.
So
One of the
now
reasons that led
the
to a lot of
runway
flights
is
to leave.
good. The plane can land, but in order to land, especially when it's at night, even at daytime, because sometimes the weather is bad, you need
Communication.
the runway lights
Yes, the
have
runway
to
lights.
be on and effectively on, so that the pilots from up there can know how and where they will land, and
the
more
team should be
importantly,
there and communicating with
the
with
communication.
the
I mean,
with the
communication
pilots,
should be
yes.
right. We just I read from one newspaper, and there was an if. You say, what if that plane has or had crashed? Well, thank God it did not crash.
Crash.
And all we have to do, like you were saying, is to make sure that everything is put into place, so as one, not to risk the lives of those who are on a flight to land, and secondly, so that Liberia, like you say, our aviation sector of revenue generation is not stalled. Because
Yes.
when these big flights that come to Liberia, when they stop coming, although people who still want to come will use other means to come, but then we will be losing revenues and a lot of business as well. So I think those there at the RIA and those responsible for that should be even more responsible, so as to prevent a recurrence of what happened and what has been happening, Jeff.
Okay, so we will leave it at that. We can, because maybe our guest, maybe he will have to, you say one or two about that. Then when we open the lines, you can also have the opportunity to have your say. But we've been beat up with time after time due to some technical issues.
The same technical issues at the Rabat International Airport, the power outage.
Yes.
The same thing with us. Yeah, but you can't blame us
Yes.
solely because it's a national issue. The
Yes.
Liberia, the LEC power grid, as we know,
Freedom FM is just a private institution owned by one,
which is not an
man.
excuse though.
Which is
But
not an excuse.
yeah, but
the airport is a national.
yeah,
something.
fine.
Yeah.
We're talking about electricity at the airport, and which you can't divorce from the Liberia Electricity Corporation, because I think they are responsible to provide electricity for Liberia. I see there is a substation being built around at Snell Notice there, and as soon as it can come on, and as soon as the LEC itself, the
We
power
need to
generating
prioritize
capacity of
water in
Liberia.
electricity. Water in electricity. What we can do, if government can ensure that we've got water in electricity and everybody can have access to running water, everyone can have access to electricity, it's also another arm of huge revenue generation. Because if electricity is affordable and stable, everybody is paying, having access. At the same time, let's take a break. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, sure.
Let me pick this call.
Like you were saying, if electricity and water, in fact, electricity itself powers everything, because even the water that we are using, or the pipe-borne water we talk about, the Liberia Water and Sewer Corporation, in order for the water to reach us, it needs electricity. It's electricity that powers it. In fact, to get to us. So RRA, electricity, power outage, all bows down to the Liberia Electricity Corporation. But we can say that they are getting them on. Like I said, there is a substation that is being built there at Smell No Taste. I know when that substation is built and is set into motion and is effectively running, we wouldn't experience much of power outage anywhere in Liberia, including here at Freedom FM, when most of the time we are on LEC, which is a privilege for us because we pay our light bills. But then when the power goes off abruptly like that, and we say there's power outage, it affects us. Like what happened? We lost our listenership, we lost our
viewers,
our viewership, and then even our customers that we obligated to on the line of commercial promotions. They get angry with us. We are afraid to lose our customers as well. So you see, it's a national issue.
Great. Thank. We said it all. Let's not join our guests. We got our second guest, a set of guests, Baladeta Wampebe. She's here already. So let's just rumble through with our first guest here. I would like to say welcome. He will properly introduce himself. He's not a stranger to the Freedom Morning Rise. There's been a couple of occasions that he's back here. Good morning, bro. It's a pleasure having you. I can say bro. Good morning, honorable.
Bro,
thank you very much, Jefferson.
Yeah, we gotta give him yeah.
It's a pleasure having me on this platform again. I'm Investor Cannon, the national chairperson of the Disenchanted Sedition of the Republic of Liberia.
Okay, Investor Cannon. Is that your name, or is that the investor? Another Cannon is the name. What's about the investor? Is that
the investor is my name, Jeff?
Investor.
Yeah, that's my biological name.
Investor Cannon.
That's a beautiful,
great name. Yeah, a great name. And we see you in your
beret.
Your
CDC beret.
Yeah, and I like it when I see partisans wearing in their regalia, and it speaks volume that things are happening, but at the same time, everything is not rosy, and so we've got Kana here. Kana has been a staunch supporter of President George Ray and a member of the CDC, but he's got some issues. He's got some issues that has made him to take some steps away from the party, but that doesn't mean that he's not he's not still a sedition a supporter of President George Weah, but due to some issues, he had to take some steps back to watch and see whether when he comes to talk about the issues that are wrong that have necessitated him taking some steps back, or not he alone but others, whether the party can regalvanize, recalibrate, and ensure that the right things are done. So exactly what you here for, Kana. Am I right?
Sure.
Okay, so let's kick the ball rolling because we actually out of time. So
thank you.
Where do you stand now? Where do you stand? Where does Investor Kana and the others that had some issues stand now when it comes to relationship and associating with the party, the CDC?
Thank you very much, Jeff. The Disenchanted Sedition of Liberia still have a good relationship with the party, but unfortunately, the leadership of the party continue to proceed wrongly. So I think we still have our disenchantment because they are not prepared to call us and listen to our plight after serious communication, even to the president. Of recent, we did a communication to the president office. This gone December and we deliver. I did follow up to January. Up to now, I've not get any response. So I think the party is not prepared to have a dialogue or maybe get our side of the story, and then the national chairperson continue to proceed the way he proceed with the party activities that continue to create problem within the party and cause a lot of disenchantment within the party or mixed feeling within the party. But my reasons here this morning.
When did you leave the party? Because you were disenchanted, you had to take some steps back. Maybe you withdrew or you retreated. When did you retreat?
Honestly, I have not retreated from the party. Being disenchanted does not mean that you suspend your membership with the party. No.
So you
I remain
a bona fide member of the party.
A bona fide member of the party. But
That
There are
doesn't
issues.
negate the fact that you can be inside and have issues. So what are the most touching issues now? I know the last time you came here, you talked about some of the issues you mentioned. Have they been resolved or they stay adding up?
They are not really being resolved, and it continue to add up. That's the reason why I'm here this morning, and our attention have been drawn to the recent dissolving of the CDC county national leadership
Okay.
and that of the accelerate network within the CDC. And for the government side, I think our attention have been drawn to the Labrador International Airport issue, where we see some incompetent and unqualified Liberians who are being appointed to those positions continue to create problems for the government. So I think this is the reason why I'm here to
You
speak
think
on
those who currently had, but let's get back to the party. You say some people have been
Yeah,
dismissed or removed from their position, elected positions.
yeah.
Don't you think it's in the purview of the chairman of the party to take decisions when people are not effective in their positions?
No, that is wrong. The party chairman had no right, constitutionally have no right to remove those guys from that position, especially to 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 remove those guys from the position of the county leadership. Those guys are elected people. So I think we should go for convention or primary and let those guys be removed through the process, through the legal process. But by just removing them through dissolving a 13 county structure, are you killing me, Chememolu? You don't understand the party constitution and you go as far as removing those guys who were elected? Those guys were elected. You were not elected as a party chairman, just acting. To remove elected people from those positions, it's not called for. And other leaders sit within the party and said
Who are
nothing about
those
that.
that were removed?
The entire 13 counties that were dissolved, and the chairman dissolved the entire 13 counties along with the National Accelerate Network chairperson. And the chairperson been having problem with that. The network, Accelerate Network chairperson been having problem with the issue with his removal unknowing to him. And then the party chairman went as far as dissolving the county leadership. That is unacceptable to us as a seditionists. It is unacceptable. We say no, Mr. Chairman, you need to reinstate those people because it is not constitution. You are going against the party constitution. So you need to reinstate those people and stop the overnight. Can you imagine the party chairman is removing those guys from that position and appointing acting leadership? What sense does that make? There are people who have been serving in those positions, don't even have job. You are not being even compensating them over the year, and you remove them from their position and put acting leadership there and create more animosity within the party, create more disenchantment within the party. Do you know what it costs for 2023 president? We are re-election. It will have serious impact on the re-election of the president because those guys who you removing from there are disenchanted and they have their own follower. And besides that, those people are legitimate people. They were elected. So you have no reason removing them from that position. So it will have trickle down effect in the various counties and districts.
It seems that you had some personal issues with my mother. The last time you came here, you said you were not given a job, and I don't think everybody gonna have job at the same time because even though you competent, you say you are competent, you qualify, you've got the qualification, but everybody cannot be appointed in the government at the same time. There are others who will come ahead to work, and then you just patiently wait for your own time to come. But it seems like you have some personal issues with Molu, and somebody will say that you haven't even met him to discuss the issues, but you rather take the airways to discuss the issue, and then that's why you've not been able to get any solution or resolution to the problems.
Jeff, do you refer to my expose this morning as personal problem with the party chairperson, whether speaking about constitutional issue within the party?
Have you engaged the party chair to
Jeff,
discuss these issues with him and see how he can remedy your concerns?
Jeff, the party chairman is adamant. The party chairman is not prepared even to listen to people defeated in those positions. But all I can tell you, my advocacy is for the CDC or seditions is not about job. I have been living over the past year since we ascended to the presidency.
No,
I've
the
been,
last time, unless you change your talking on the last time you came here, you were blasting that qualified people are in the party. You never gave a job. Other people from the other end, from the other side, across the road, I think even job.
I was wrong by saying that. No, I was right. I spoke about qualified people should be included in government from the party. I think I was 100% right. But this morning, this is not about job issue. I'm discussing the party constitutional issue that the party chairman have violated by removing people from that position and appointing people overnight. It is wrong.
No, but these are allegations anyway.
So
They-
where are the fights?
No.
You have not named any. You have not maybe we can't force you to name people, but you just said 13 counties, heads, or officials of the party have been removed. But what are the reasons? What necessitated the removal of those people? You've not said anything like that.
Jeff,
There should be reasons. The party chairman doesn't have a
Jeff.
take a unilateral decision to just remove 13 counties officials.
Jeff,
Yeah.
under our constitution, there is no reason why an elected person should be removed without stating the reason as a party chairperson. The chairman was in error. And you guys are journalists and you follow the news on a daily basis. You aware you in the know of the party chairman dissolving 13 counties
No,
on
no,
the
no,
15.
you
No,
have to
we're
tell me
not.
I'm
We're-
aware.
we're-
Okay, so
I'm not
so
aware.
I think this morning you are blessed to get the information from
Yeah,
me
so
that you have to make news all of today. The party chairperson dissolved 13 counties, leadership out of 15 counties, with the exception of Mosuralo and that of Grand Jide. So I think you're in the know. And the party chairperson did not state any reasons why he dissolved the 13 counties leadership. He did not state any reason. He only talked about how those guys have been appointed. He knew the appointed leadership that he been having in those various counties, how they are being appointed for 2023 to boost the re-election of President George Weah. Those things don't make sense. You cannot dissolve county leadership who were elected and you tell us the reason why you are replacing them with other people is because you are recalibrating the re-election of President George Weah. No. Let us go to convention. Let us go to the primary. And those guys will contest, and if they've been voting out by their constituency, it's okay. But you cannot just remove those guys from their position. It is wrong. It creates a lot of problem within the party. Already the CDC got serious problem that we face with internal problem. We face with that create a lot of disenchantment within the party that make Thomas Fala and other guys to continue to lose election within the CDC.
Have you,
Then you tell us
have you at any point in time talked with any of these guys who were replaced? These elected county chairpersons who were replaced. Have you talked with any one of them or some of them, and who are the ones you've talked with?
I spoke with the Mike Gibby County leadership and that of Grand Bassa County leadership, and even Bomi, that of Kipma, that was just replaced with one other. I think family something like that. The ongoing leadership chairperson of the county said that it is unconstitutional.
Who is he?
It's one boy man. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and he called me here myself talk on the phone, to be very honest. I not been knowing him in person, but because of my advocacies and my posts and things on the social media, he called me. He said, "Can you following what happened?" I said, "Yes, I'm following, but it is wrong." He said, "How could the chairperson just decide to dissolve the county leadership?"
Maybe we should hear from these people who are affected.
Yes.
We appreciate your advocacy, but sometimes you have to hear from the horse's mouths. Like I said, it's news for me that 13 out of 15 county chairpersons have been replaced, and like you said, elected persons. People
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
It's unfair that you just replace elected.
Yes, if
people,
that is if
that is the
if
case,
Ghana is saying the
right,
right to
Right.
we
If
believe
what you say is anything we can go by, then I think it's wrong. But sometimes we like to hear from the horse's mouths, because to my knowledge, there hasn't been any complaint coming in. Maybe in the realms of the CDC, it's like that. But for news purposes, I don't know if it's actually
But I
happens.
think let's make progress. You were talking about the issue of the Liberia Civil Aviation Authority, Liberia Airport Authority, with you alleging that the folks there are incompetent, and that due to their incompetence, that's why you see the current situation with the Liberia Airport Authority or the Rabos International Airport, which is very demeaning for our country. So, what have you done? What inquiry have you made that you believe those folks are not competent? Both Moses Colley and the IT manager at the RI, Marty Hayes.
Jeff, I think I have made a lot of inquiry when it comes to that. Martin College is a BA holder in criminal justice, and the president appointed him as IT managing director there. That is unacceptable, Mr. President, to have a, a man who have BA in criminal justice without any aviation knowledge, without any experience, without any or Apple management experience or education or background, and keeping at that position and think that the airport will be vibrant, there will be a reform within the Liberian International Airport. No, Mr. President, those guys are incompetent. They don't have any background of such. So when you keep them there, it creates problem for the country. It creates problem for the investors. People are scared to even come to Liberia now with the numerous incidents occur there. And Mr. President, you continue to look at Martin Hill to be hiding over there, and look at Musa Shannon, who served there as board chairperson, who also have a BA in business management, without any education about airport management and civil aviation, Mr. President. Those people need to be removed from that position. We need technocraft. We got qualified Liberians. I cannot say citizens if even you want to appoint a member of the Coalition for Democratic Change. They are qualified people from the coalition, qualified Liberians who can serve in that position, who have the background, who have the required education for that place. They can revamp that place. They can reform that place and make that place international standard wide. Then for you to keep
No, it's already
Yeah.
You've got the
international.
standard.
It's already
You've
international.
got the
standard.
standard. What is what?
so
what-
you
what's
talk about standard, what's the standard
management?
there?
The standard is
You've
there.
got
The
you've got
management
a
doesn't.
good, you've got a good terminal now.
You got
You've got a
terminal.
good road.
That's the
Planes
reason,
there.
Jeff.
Yes.
Jeff, our international
Maybe the only
airport
thing we lack now is
is
the
not up to
expansion.
standard.
Maybe it's the expansion.
Why-
No,
why
we've
do
got
you
the
call
There's no
standard?
light.
the stem.
There
You
are
talk about
lights.
standard,
There are lights.
light, and then plane coming, and you hear people broadcasting on the plane that there is no light. The plane has to go back to Severloon. After 30 minutes before the plane came back to land, then you tell me the Liberia International Airport is up to standard. Or when you talk about a standard international airport, there should be no more meaning of electricity off.
Mm.
Yeah, then you talk about standard. But I can tell you under the leadership of Martin Hill, the airport is dying gradually. Mr. President, you need to do something about this. It's not Martin going to take the bullet. It is you, President. We are going to take the bullet. The political bullet, you will take the political bullet, and it will have serious
So
trickle
I
down
think
on
that's
there.
that's right. That's you.
So
that's correct.
they will
Martin
have
Hayes will
the-
not take the blame.
Yeah.
The blame will go to the presidency.
So it will definitely go to you, Mr. President. And Martin, poor management at the Rabo International Airport will have trickle down effect on your re-election. And don't take this thing to be joke. There are educated people and some other people in Liberia who is watching the working of your leadership within the various government entity. They continue to marginalize Liberians. They continue to stop us from having the investors should be coming to Liberia, because those guys who are in position are unqualified and competent. So they manage the airport very recklessly, and it frighten investors and business people to come to Liberia to invest. And even your own Liberians who want to come back in that country and build and develop, it scares them. It scares them to come back because everybody's life is outraged when you're in the plane, no light. How you will land? Are you kidding me, Mr. President? It happened the first time. I thought you were going to dismiss that IT managing director from there. You still keep
You
it there.
think you think the solution of to such a problem is just dismissal? Because I always Right? People say dismiss all of them, dismiss the people from there, dismiss this. You think that the solution is to dismiss those who are there?
I think
Or
when
there's something else that it can be done other than just dismiss.
I think when somebody is incompetent and
Yeah, but how do you determine that someone is competent or not?
thank you, you determine by the working of the person when they are incompetent. Your performance, it proves to the Liberian people that indeed you are incompetent. So the performance of Martin Hill and others there prove that indeed they are incompetent to manage the Liberia International Airport. So I think for no doubt the president should go as far as dismissing Martin Hill immediately, because those things will have impact on his re-election, especially the international airport. It's not joke. You play with international people and national people life. You joke with investors coming to Liberia. We don't already have investors coming to this country. Then you get one airport where you depend on everything like this.
Do you think it was deliberate?
I think so.
Why? Why would someone want to deliberately do that?
Because they lack the competencies. They lack it. Without any recommendation, I would not be giving a job as managing director to the airport.
Deliberate in a sense that maybe you say you think it's deliberate. Someone say we deliberately cut the lights off. For what reason?
So I would say yes, because if you know that you have an international airport that you're operating, and you know a plane should be coming, and the plane is on its way to your country, and then light go off, I mean, you deliberately do that because you know that
light goes off, and lights always go off. But when you say deliberate, that means it's intentional. Do you think it's a form of sabotage?
I would say, yeah, it's a sign of form of sabotage. It's a sign of economic sabotage.
For what reason you think?
For their own personal reasons.
Now let me read this for you quickly. The Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, Nathaniel McGill, has said that President George Weah is concerned about the current state. You know, the incident that involved the president when he came from Europe. This is where April 5, this statement came in. Nathaniel McGill has said that President George Weah is concerned about the current state of the Rabat International Airport, and efforts are being exerted to address the situation. Now, where I'm coming now, it should sing that something to you. The RIA, headed by its IT Managing Director Martin Hayes, has been faced with serious operational constraints, making it difficult for the airport to be lighted during the night hours. So when we are making these playing games, let's see the fights. Let's try to know what's happening at the airport. As part of the immediate priorities, Minister McGill stated that a special cabinet team would work with the airport authorities to make swift interventions. He named some of the prompt interventions as the working of the air navigation system, which has not been changed for over 25 years. The improvement of stable electricity, including another source of power, a solar system, as well as the increase in fire system equipment, just name it. So, current Minister McGill has said these are the issues at the Rabat International Airport.
And not just Martin Hayes.
So I was about to say to you, most of the times these institutions, they don't the presidents appoints administrators, but they are technocrats within there that these administrators, we have to work with the technocrats, because if you don't work with the technocrats, there's a tendency that they will sabotage your operation.
No, Jeff, that's not an excuse from Minister McGill. That issue has been going at the Rabat.
It's a general situation. It's a general issue that is affecting the operations of the airport.
Jeff, that's a poor excuse for the minister to give the Liberian people.
But again, thankfully, the president has made intervention.
Yeah, of course, you can't give.
So,
any
what's the intervention? Since the incident with the
though.
president, when you talk about the president have made intervention, what's the intervention? And we experienced just day before yesterday similar issue. When you talk about intervention, when I make an intervention, like for example, I serve here as a talk show host, and then let me reference to the incident that occurred here this morning on the electricity issue.
Right.
And I will make an intervention where electricity will not leave from this place immediately. Right? And then my intervention will be a cover up. And next time will not be on this platform and electricity go off. But then Mr. Magay is saying that the president make an intervention, but we still experience the same thing with Air Brussels, right?
The intervention wasn't good enough.
It was good enough.
Now, I mean, if
Yeah.
a reoccurrence,
Thank
that
you.
means the intervention was
It was
good.
not good enough.
Or maybe those who are supposed to be implementing for that intervention.
So that's the reason why you see us continue to shape the blame on the airport management, because if the airport management have problems at the Rabat International Airport, they should make those recommendations to the president or the rightful authority that are responsible to put that mechanism in place.
We play three ball royal. We will come and says and side with you and go inside with the airport management. But again,
that's a
what's
job.
happening is this is another report that came out on April 5. Amid constant darkness at the Rabat International Airport, government of Liberia shows 2.2 million swift intervention project to address power outage at the country's only international airport. So again, government has said this, but has government provided the money so to ensure that such situation does not occur? These are the questions we should we are asking. We should be asking Martin Hayes again. Martin Hayes, by that kind, will say government has not given us money. But if he does that, it's going to be a sabotage. So maybe the situation is still there. The constraints are still there. But again, we come and say, dismiss Martin Hayes, dismiss Moses Colley. But within, there are issues, and the issues need to be resolved. And these money requires $2.2 million, as government made the $2.2 million available. So why are you saying Martin Hayes should be dismissed if government has not done what she's supposed to do?
So there's a situation here. Martin Hayes is the IT managing director there. That he come and tell the Liberian people that indeed the $2.3 million are not being given to manage the airport. There's now a ball game. Let us not play a game with the life of the Liberian people and the life of our international partner. You can't continue to play political game with the international airport. That is unacceptable. Nobody should bring that to us.
Granted.
Yeah, not because I'm a sedition, so I will sit on this platform and support that. You raised the life of other people. It could be my brother on that flight and the flight crashed. I lost my brother.
So you think
it's wrong?
So in your thinking,
yes,
replacing the entire management, or like you said, Martin Hayes will solve the problem.
So I think the first thing
will keep the lights on.
I think the first thing the president can do is to appoint a qualified managing director there. And Liberia have one that I know of. If Mr. President asks me today who to recommend for that position, I will recommend Joseph Jackson.
Who is he?
Joseph Jackson is a specialist for aviation. Oh, he have 29 working year experience.
Well, maybe his area is technical. It's not.
I'm telling you, Dr. Joseph Jackson. He's a qualified and competent aviation specialist. Competent, qualified aviation specialist, and he have vast experience in airport management.
You're not running his campaign, are you?
I'm not running campaign for nobody. I'm not loyalty to anybody. I want good person to the Rabat International Airport so we can get investors. Yeah. We are not benefiting from government. We don't have government job, but at least we can benefit indirectly by good investors coming to Liberia.
By having someone there who is close to you?
No, not close to me. He's not close to me. Jackson is not close to me.
Okay.
I've been following Jackson working in America, even when he served as CDC USA chairperson. And I follow the entire working, and I know he's a competent person, so he's not close to me. There's not have to. Jackson is not Kanye, so it's not something about being close to Kanye. But it's about his qualification and competency. He's very qualified and competent for that job. So I think the president should be thinking about appointing Joseph Jackson at that position.
Do you know any other president apart from
Joseph Jackson? There are a lot of Liberians who are qualified for that position. They are in Liberia. Some are in America. Mr. President, you can bring them, appoint them.
How about you think Martin Hayes is not?
Martin Hayes is not qualified. Martin Hayes is just a security personnel. What does Martin Hayes know about airport management? What he know about aviation? What Musa Channel know about aviation and president? We are saying there at both chairperson. You need technocrat. You need qualified people who understand the working of the airport.
The technocrats are there.
Yeah, the technocrats are there. Why are they not working when they are there? So that just put to it that there's no technocrat. You need a boss of that place to be a specialist or technocrat, qualified administrator. Yes, you don't have to prioritize one person who just got security. Take the man, send him to NSA, send him to Liberia National Police. He got BA in criminal justice. So what are you saying to Rabat International Airport for? What do you expect of him? Nothing. Nothing he's going to do. Nothing he's going to do. What the Mr. President, you need to remove him from that place and other guys in the senior management position, remove them from that position and appoint Joseph Jackson in that position to mitigate all our problem within the Liberia International Airport. You need to appoint qualified men there, qualified person, Mr. President.
Okay. Well, Connor, we have to pick because we have some technical issues and we have to share the remaining time with the other guests. But we can assure you that we will extend another invitation to come and talk about all the other issues. So let's just pick some calls.
Yep.
0776 104 104 086 500 104. I think the points made by Connor, they are all worthy points. It's important that actions be taken speedily because even with these constraints, they are lives of people. You don't risk the lives of people who even our families who are coming to Liberia, our partners, international folks and all coming. You don't want to risk their lives. So these points are important. Even the other issues raised with the party chairman Moba Molu, we think it is also important and needs to be looked at. All of these issues, concerns are genuine, and so it's important that the right things be done. Let's pick your calls now as we will shortly join Madam Dito Wampe Bay. Good morning. 0776 104 104 086 500 104. Give this some echo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, go ahead. Get your name quickly.
My name is Blama Town, and I'm calling from Carwell.
Let's hear you, Blama.
And I just listened to my brother. My brother is right. You know, if somebody is competent, you serious in life at the job, you will know exactly what to do. So you can be a management for the airport where you know the generator go up. Before generator go, there's a place single to you. The machine, they is single. If the judge is single, they is single. But if you're not competent, if you're not qualified for the job, you will see that you will not even have the fear. You will not have the control of the area. So I give my recommendation to the we have to wait this one again. Then maybe they delay, and then for competent people alone, if that's competent and qualified Liberians.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning. We have to squeeze in a few calls.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Janime, where you joined us from?
Yeah, I'm Lester you calling from Perry Street, CKA Lester City.
Go ahead, Lester.
Yeah, what my brother saying in his studio, I said I'm a musician, but what is going on? I don't like it. What the president is doing. The man makes me say twice. Sack a man. The man in your interest. We're not talking about friendship.
Yeah, thank you for calling.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
My name is Melvin Brown.
Yeah, Melvin.
I'm calling you from Claratown this morning in my official capacity as the youth chairperson for station number 14.
You've got 30 seconds. You've got 30 seconds.
Let me firstly clear some contradiction from the studio guest. I don't know him, but I challenge him to prove the record that district or county leaders were elected. I heard him talking about constitutional violation. He has no understanding for this party. County chairpersons are appointed by the national chairperson. I challenge him. I don't know where he got his information from, but the chairman never disband any county leadership. The only county leadership that an acting leadership was appointed was in Great Cape Mount County. Now, we must not have people bring our party to public.
Thank you. Thank you. You've made your
Thank
point.
you.
Another caller?
Yeah.
Let's get back to that side. Goshev was calling, but I think he slipped off the line. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Your name and where you joined us from?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to hear the guest at the studio.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, people found very well.
Yeah, Kalabuli man, you're here. Just hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, people found it very well because the good place that somebody who don't know about aviation or airport management, then you put them to that kind of place to play with life and property. That will stop investors from coming. If I, Charles Quaddy,
Okay, you made.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Charles, you made
Let's
your point.
wrap up with
You said it
Kalabuli.
already.
Let's wrap up with Kalabuli. Thank
Yeah,
you.
good morning.
Let's wrap up.
Good morning.
That's not. I think this is it. Good morning.
Hello.
Please don't look like Nigerians who are in tune.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, God is calling from uptown.
Yeah, guys, go ahead, guys.
You know, the situation at the RIA is very, very, very serious, and something needs to be done to remedy it. And the best way for such to be a team is to have the right fittings in the right holes. If the issue at the airport is completely managerial ineptitude, it should be handled administratively by the president. If it is an act of, sabotage, it needs to be investigated. But let me say this much. What is going on over there is not something that should be happening at our country's only international airport. For crying out loud, people's lives are in the balance.
Mm-hmm.
People's lives are in the balance. You cannot be coming to an airport at night to land, or let's say a plane cannot be coming to an international airport at night to land, and then power is off, and then the plane has to detour or what have you.
Because these things happen. These are technical problems that occur most of the time. Except that, yes, you are right. We have to just police them. But saying that everybody there should be dismissed, or the hair should be dismissed because.
Worse if you dismiss everybody and bring a new team. Well, the new team
all right,
come and mess up.
Let's see. Hello. Yeah, thank you, Gus. Hello. Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Go ahead.
I'm Aruna and Polly calling from District 17.
Okay, Aruna, go ahead from Brewerville. Okay. Yeah, always say Brewerville, because when you say District,
we have to
17,
twist up it because we're out of time.
Everybody
30
doesn't know.
seconds.
Yeah, Brewerville.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I want to thank you this morning for flagging a lot of important issues, especially I've been engaged on by the Capeman chairperson. I think so far, as the brother said previously, he's the only person being affected right now.
And not 13, not 13 counties.
Yeah, not 13. Apparently, it might go through the 13 county, but most of them in Granku will remain. But the process is on for only for Capeman have been completed. But we are still seeing how the chairman was appointed or how he was elected. We are still going through it because the Capeman chairman, Guyango, he just called me. He and I just spoke on the issue. I would like to get his number. Guys say he's trying to go through. He's going through. He can speak for himself.
Yeah, give us his number. Look,
we out of time.
Text
Let's reach our contact.
Text us.
775
85 2001.
He's Boima Kamara, Boima Q Kamara. He's the development superintendent of Capeman.
So it's 0775 85 2001.
852001.
Roger. Okay.
Boima Kane.
Yes, Boima Q Kamara.
All right,
He's
thank you.
the development superintendent of the county. He's the development superintendent of the county.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Kada,
much.
let's listen to the callers, please. Respond in a minute and give the parting comment. We have to do this because of the time. Yeah.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all the callers who call, even those who disagree with me, like my comrade Melvin Brown, the youth chairperson of District number 14, claim me to not be knowing but however, it's politics, and I will now always be in their interest. Melvin Brown, I speak for the masses, and I believe in the masses, so I can tell you. But I think callers are called and then buttressed what I said, that indeed the candidate structure was dissolved by the chairperson, and then there are ongoing replacement, but some say that they have not reached to all
And
the
that they
candidates
weren't elected, they were appointed.
No, he did not say they were appointed. It is Melvin Brown who said the leaders are being appointed. But I think you saw the argument from the last caller just now that the chairperson of Grand Capeman who were replaced had an argument that his position is an elected position, but then he was removed, so he want to argue that. So it just a clear something for somebody to come on this platform or maybe call on this platform and contradict the constitution of the party. I know that it is unacceptable to the sedition and unacceptable to the Liberian people, because the constitution of the CDC is also governed by the Liberian constitution. So to see people doing those things, that is bad democracy. So we don't believe in that. And I want to say thank you for the thanks to the Freedom FM family for the invitation that is always extended to the Disenchanted CDJ. And I want to use this platform today.
I don't know where your Disenchantment will finish.
Yeah, I want to use your platform today to announce our penny meeting for tomorrow, 3 o'clock at the Library Assembly of God Mission High School.
That should be paid for.
On Tottenham Boulevard, on Buchanan Street, on Buchanan Street. Right. So I'm calling on all Disenchanted CDJ of Montserrat County to be part of that meeting, and that's a very important meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay, he's Investor Kane, Chief of Disenchanted Seditions. It's always a pleasure to have you here talking the talk. Thank you very much. We will have to extend another invitation to come again, but due to some technical problem, we have to cut the time short. And so we've got with us Madam Dayton Pebe, the Chairperson, Executive Director of the National Commission on Disabilities. We're going to be talking some issues briefly. She was recently in Nigeria, but Amapaba, we'll keep the ball rolling as do some adjustment.
I always would love, with pleasure, keep the ball rolling, especially when she's in studio with us, talking very strong. And welcome back, and welcome to the Freedom Morning Rise again, Madam Pebe. Oh, sorry, we're still trying to get you through. I don't know. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Is she there? Hello? Can we hear you? Maybe she should use this. Okay. Sorry. We're trying to get her on. Yeah, please. Is the mic on? Hello? 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 Okay, we use that one maybe. And sorry, you're listening to the Freedom Morning Rise, Friday morning edition of the program TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. TGIF. Thank goodness is freedom. Again, we're trying to get this. Will you just please adjust the microphone down there? We see. Okay, I think that.
Hello.
Hello, sorry for the little technical delay.
Sure.
I hope it doesn't turn into the RIA.
No.
Okay, Madam Pebe, the Commissioner General. Chairperson. I always say Commissioner General on the Disabled Commission. Again, every time you come here, I want to ask this question. We hear about the disability. And someone said disability is not inability. Mm-hmm. How can you be disabled when you're not unable?
Good morning again to the peace-loving people of Liberia. It is good to be at your listening audience always, and the management of Freedom FM is always great at the invite, and we are so grateful. So again, when we say disability is not inability, it means that we are first of all looking at the definition of disability.
Right.
Disability, the definition that is currently accepted is the definition by the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability, which says that disability is a physical, mental, and sensory impairment that in interaction you may be hindered by barriers. Those barriers are physical barriers, attitudinal barriers, and so forth. So the reason we say it's not inability is that once those barriers are removed or minimized, automatically they will perform on an equal basis with others. Like, for instance, those in a wheelchair, if you have a ramp on a building, and somebody who listening to me could say what a ramp is, but it's a slope that is made with cement. Sometimes you put tire on it, but the tire got to be a rough tire.
Okay, so when sometimes you go to big offices or every office.
Central Bank, for example, it got a slope.
You got a slope.
Selcom that slope.
They can't
right
go
there.
by the stairs. So
You can go by the step, you just use that slope. So
Yeah.
once you have that slope, automatically a wheelchair person can become a receptionist, can become a boss, can sit in any office.
minister, president.
Yes, because the wheelchair will just ride in
One
the bed.
American president was in a wheelchair.
That's Franklin Roosevelt. President
Okay,
Franklin
so, yeah.
Roosevelt. So
Right.
once for the deaf, if you have a sign language interpretation,
Right.
automatically everything you're saying, they will get it. Like for instance, if I'm on a show now,
Right.
once the show is going live and you have an interpreter, they will be able to get it. So once those barriers are eliminated, for the visually impaired, they also use steps, but
That is
RAM
those
is
who don't
also
see.
good for them. Yeah, those who don't
The
see,
blind.
they are the visually impaired. So they also use steps, but their medium of communication is the braille, like when they are doing print.
And they
So once
communicate
you understand-
effectively.
Definitely.
I
So-
have a twin mate. Every time I talk about a twin mate, is a colleague, the blind announcer at ABC Radio.
Okay.
He's super. Don't
No,
put
Jeff. He's Jeff.
Jeff Tano?
Jeff Tano, my
Jeff Tano,
my
Jeff
birthday
Tano,
mate.
yeah,
Jeff,
Jeff Tano.
sorry, Jeff, I
Jeff
just
Tano,
forgot your
yes,
name, but
Jeff
we've been
Tano.
friends for a very long time.
Yeah, so that's
Jeff-
that's really what it is.
Jeff
And
is
Jeff can
blind.
use the computer. So with the computer, once you have jogs on it, he can do any work. He
Yeah.
can edit. He can do everything with the computer. So those are the barriers. Once they are eliminated,
Right.
automatically disability.
We are
becomes
fighting to
eliminated.
eliminate that.
That's right.
Welcome back from Nigeria.
Thank you so
so
much.
Tell us more
So
about
let's go into the
Trip to Nigeria
engagement.
first?
Yeah, your trip to Nigeria. Why did you go to Nigeria? What was the engagement?
Again, I want to say a very big thank you always for the opportunity to serve our community, and the community is the community of persons with disability. And perhaps those who might be listening to me for the first time, the National Commission on Disability is a body that was enacted by law in 2005, and that body was set up to lead and steer the affairs of persons with disability within Liberia across the 15 political subdivision. We work with civil society organizations of persons with disability that are called OPWD, that is Organization of Persons with Disabilities. And these organizations currently are above 65 registered organizations with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that have adequate incorporation and all of that. One of the things we're able to do in order to ensure that Monrovia is not just Liberia, is to ensure the decentralization of the commission across districts and county. So as we are on the show now, wherever this frequency is, persons with disabilities are listening across the country. So across the 73 district, we have district coordinator for operation and secretary. We did SIM at the county level, and then we divided Liberia into 3 regions where we have 5 counties per region, and we have one regional coordinator to coordinate our activities, because we can't be in Monrovia and everywhere at the same time.
Right.
So just for people to be able to get it. So what has been happening is that upon our ascendancy in June last year, we got a questionnaire, like a survey material from the ECOWAS, and they were trying to assess member states' institutional capacity and national capacity when it comes to addressing the needs of persons with disability, especially looking at the inclusion of persons with disability. So ECOWAS have said that we have the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability that is global.
Right.
We have the AU Protocol on Persons with Disability. They also wanted to know whether various countries have signed, and we haven't gotten it clear whether Liberia has signed it yet. We are still kind of like following up with all of these details, but very soon we're going to have it. So what happened is they said, even though we have the regional document that is AU, but we need to see how we develop a regional strategic action plan that will look at the inclusion of persons with disability within the 15 ECOWAS states. So upon that, they decided to send these questionnaires. So when the questionnaires came, we fill it up. Unfortunately, our country was a bit ahead of many countries within the region. And I'm not saying this because I'm appointed. I'm saying this because I'm a person with disability, and those documents that are available across region, we've been able to look through them. So what it is, the act creating the National Commission on Disability, first of all, came into force even long before the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disability was adopted by the United Nations in December 2006, because the act was passed in 2005 December, and it was a year after when the UN Convention came into force. And this Africa document that we're talking about came into force 2018 January. So Liberia have been able to make some progress. Next was the issue of the inclusive education policy that have been drafted at the level of Ministry of Education. While it is true that implementation is slow, ECOWAS' focus is to know that these documents exist. And we said to them the commission have been established, and section 1 of the commission placed us at the level of the executive, where we are appointed also by the president. and giving those opportunity and privileges. At least not just the civil society organization in the country, but we also have a government arm of that body. So we were able to make all of those cases and fill in the questionnaires. So based upon that, all of those questionnaires from the various countries were brought together to develop this strategic action plan, and we were called to validate this document in Nigeria. And I want to say thank you to the executive always for their usual support when we are trying to get some constraint in accessing funds from the Ministry of Finance. They always come in to make sure that we get a lot of things done that we enhance our own equitable participation on an equal basis with others. So I was supported to be able to move forward to Nigeria to get this done. So when we get there, we're basically the validation of the document. So while there, we're able to look through.
Did you make
everything that was
significant
presented.
inputs?
Sure, we were giving country perspective, and I think many people been following the interview that I did with the Democracy Radio.
So why
And the
there?
headquarters is in Sierra Leone. Yeah, so every country were asked to present the status of the country and what it is. And I was able to update my people in a chat room that we created, like I said. And it was surprising to know that every country were asked to carry the government arm of the community of persons with disability and the civil society arm. But many countries across the region yet to have the government arm of the disabled community. They only have the civil society arm of the community of persons with disability. And in our meeting, it was only Nigeria, Ghana, and Liberia that have National Commission on Disability. For the Nigerian, they call it National Commission on Persons with Disability. In Ghana, it's the same, but we are National Commission on Persons with Disability, on Disability in general. That's that. So those three bodies were there. But we also have a network established across West Africa called WAFO, which is the West African Organization of Persons with Disability. They were also represented in that region. And it will also surprise you to know that in various countries, the organizations of persons with disability are not independent like we are. And this I shared with my colleague when I was in Abuja. I said to them, we got to appreciate what we have. Because the National Commission on Disability has
Independent in what sense?
independent in terms of running your activity independently and making independent report to government like every other ministries and agencies. Because you have the budgetary allotment, but for them, when the budgetary allotment is done, when they raise their budget, they got to go through a ministry for the minister to approve. Even when they are doing requests, their requests have to be signed by a ministry. Like in our meeting, when the Sierra Leone team arrived, they have to be speaking in a way that they don't offend the person that is there to represent them. So it's like disability is not really, it's almost like inability because
On
they are
that
not
side.
being given the opportunity to really perform. Like PBA here now, I may report directly to government through the Ministry of Gender. We coordinate, we partner. Like recently, we were asked to lead a process of developing a roadmap.
Right.
Instead, the president will have asked either the Ministry of Gender or the Minister of Finance Development Planning and say, what would the disabled community to develop this document? But instead, we were asked and we were able to lead that process.
No,
and
because
that's
you
one of
are
the
a
things that
commissioner.
really make me happy. But yeah, that's the same across the region. But they are not giving that opportunity to perform. They are not giving that responsibility to show that they can be able to lead and manage processes.
To
that
manage
lead to
themselves.
Definitely.
Right, sure.
It is not, and that's why I shared with my colleague even yesterday in our meeting. I said, even though sometimes there are lapses, there are challenges, but you should be able to appreciate what you have. And that's one takeaway I have from that meeting. And another thing is that when we developed and validated the document and they were adopted, Nigeria was able to raise a motion that we cannot just have this National Strategic Action Plan for ECOWAS, and we don't have an entity established within ECOWAS that will be able to manage this. Improving our children's disability is not inability. We understand that you people will work for us, you are passionate about it, you will lead our process and everything, but hey, the shoe that fit our feet, when we are sitting there, we will know exactly how it is and how we can be able to do it. So when that motion was raised, we had a team from ECOWAS, and fortunately, we have the Minister of the ECOWAS Commission on Gender and Social Affairs. She was also there. And that of the Minister of Gender of Nigeria, they were all there along with ILO, UN Women, and every other partners of the ECOWAS. They were also in our meeting. And they provided the expertise of advice on how this whole body can be able to work. And based upon that, we were also able to adopt a technical committee of 3 countries, Nigeria, Ghana, and let's say we included the WIFO and the ECOWAS Secretariat to be able to work and lead the process of establishing this entity. So it will be an entity that might likely be called the ECOWAS Council on Disability Affairs. And that will be served by, when it's set up, we'll have 7 countries that will be able to hear the leadership, and that will be more of like the government structures of disabled communities within various countries. So it will be the National Commission. That body will also be able to help in setting up National Commission of Persons with Disability, or whatever way you want to term it, at the rest of the African states that don't have it, like the works of the ECOWAS states that don't have it. Notwithstanding, 3 countries couldn't participate because of their political conflict that is currently going on. That had to do with Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea. So they were not part of it, but they will also be covered in terms of every outcome of that particular thing, because they are also persons with disability. So those are basically the outcome of what happened in Nigeria.
How much did you present Liberia's case, and how well was it understood by the rest of the West African nations?
It was presented well and realistically, and it was based upon my participation in a meeting that led to the media team that, hey, we want to have a special interview with you. So if you watch that video, you will see that they interviewed me, and then they interviewed the ES of Nigeria. So it was like the both of us that were interviewed at that meeting. It was based upon the case that we made. And I was able to let them know that from the time the commission was established, there have been budgetary allotment ranging from 75,000 to 250,000 to 350. But upon the development of the roadmap, immediately when it was signed by His Excellency, we had an opportunity of increasing our budget to 629 plus thousand United States dollars in order to help us to implement. And currently, we are embarking on an empowerment process. I think the last time I was here, I said that persons with disability, especially those that are in the street, because we are all persons with disability. We are facing challenges. We are struggling. Times are hard. Things are a bit difficult, but we are in category. There are others that are really, 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 really vulnerable. So those are the ones we're going to start up with. So we've asked them to go to the office and be able to write down their name, what it is that you would do that will make you independent. So what we'll do upon receiving all of this, because they are giving us their location, so we're going to do it like district-wise to bring them together in a district where we provide small business skill training, or whatever it is you have said you want to do. We'll provide some level of capacity building, and from there we have a monitoring team that will help to monitor you. Because we said to them, when you meet the Pope, you ask the Pope to pray for you, because you might not see the Pope again. This opportunity that we have to utilize it. We're not saying that perhaps it might not happen again, but for it to happen, it might take a very long time. So if you are in power, don't say that government money or that government this, and you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Because we're going to take video of you, we're going to do everything. And if you go back in the street with all of the opportunity we give you, posterity has its own way of judging people. And that's how you're going to judge you.
You started already, because I know you did some
In Bon County, Banga?
in Montserrat.
Bon County and that of Kamagi.
Yeah, because I was just about to ask you about what happened in Bon County.
We did that.
Right, sure. Have you been doing a follow-up?
We've been following up, and it's going gradually well. It's going quite well. There are a lot of them who said to us that they wanted to do this sub-selling, because you look in your community and you know what's marketable and what's going. Because farming is some of the things they propose. But for farming, we told them we'll be able to come back later. And like the opportunity we're about to receive now with support, that's where we're going to go. Because for a person with disability to farm, you got to pay people to brush the farm. You got to pay people to weed and everything. So you will need money to get all of these things done. So that was like a long-term plan. So for the short-term plan, were those who say, I want to do business. There were some who say, I want to do dry goods. There were some who say, I want to do iron soap. So what we did, we got there every material that is needed to make it work. Because it is tempting sometimes to give them a cat, because they might do whatever it is. So we told them, can we get you the material? It was with their acquiescence that we're able to get all of these things for them. And we said to them, what we'll also do is we'll find you food stuff that you can eat for at least 1 or 2 weeks, so that you can go into the business. Because I also did accounting. And the purpose of business is to maximize profit, though, but the owner must be separate from the operation of the business.
Right. Sure.
And once you go into your principle, that business is bound to break down. So we didn't want them to go into that principle. So we provided them rice, oil, and everything that is needed for at least to carry them for a week as single parents.
So that they could be able to save some profit.
To save, like when you're making your market now, like after 2 weeks, you might have realized some outcome. And with that now, you can be able to get on your feet and sustain yourself.
I come back to the question. Have you been doing follow-up on them, monitoring them?
We've been monitoring them.
What do you expect from them?
And we have at county level, like I said, we have the NCD coordinator, we have the NUO coordinator. So So the NOAA coordinator and the NCD coordinator are with them, like every time updating us on what happened. Some of them parents been even calling us and telling us, "Oh, thank you, we appreciate what you did," because we are almost like burden on our parents. So once you try to empower us, you automatically become like a god to our parents because you've been able to help in some way in alleviating the problem that they have been going through in carrying us. Because to carry a child with disability is actually not easy, I can say for free.
Okay, now they said the prophet is not respected in his own home. It was shocking to note that Liberia is on par with Ghana and Nigeria when you went to the recent engagement. But and this is only limited to the National Commission on Disabilities. Other ministries, other functions, other places to go, we are on par with the other people. But why is it that by here we're not appreciative of what's happening? Are you appreciative of President George Weah, his governance, what he's doing, even the budgetary increment that is being made with the NCD? Are you appreciative? And
What do you need more?
are you going to work with what you have and based on what your output, and then the president could say, okay, let's do more for the NCD?
For me, that's what I think, and that's what I've been saying to my people. And perhaps some of the reason why people have not appreciated it is not that perhaps they don't want to appreciate it, but maybe they are not informed.
Yeah.
You see, information is very, very important. Like when I came back yesterday, because we have this OPWD meeting every last Thursday in the month, and I've said that the media, those development partners that are listening, once you come at the office of the commission, 11 o'clock, even from 10 o'clock, they can start arriving. Some can even come from Margibi to take part in this meeting from NIMBA, because we have heads of organization in various areas. And we brief them on every workings of the Commission on Disability. So in our meeting is where we used to provide information to them. So when I briefed them yesterday, I even said to them that, guess what? The Nigeria chapter is headed by a deaf person. He talks, but he don't hear. So you communicate to him through sign language. And I start to tell them that the deaf in Nigeria have gone very far in terms of development. Some are professors at university, they got doctorate degree, they got master degree and all of that. And they were so inspired, especially the deaf.
They can't
were
hear.
so happy. Yes.
Oh, they don't hear?
Yeah.
Well,
Some don't hear, but they can talk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what happened. And some can talk and they can't hear at all. But
So you use sign language.
yeah, they
They
use
can't
sign
talk,
language.
they can't hear.
They can talk, they can hear them. My principal, my deputy, he was also appointed by the president. But they've been there for a while now. He's deaf. He can hear, he can talk. But his medium is sign language.
He
completely.
communicates.
And he communicates.
Right.
For him, he got a master. Like the one who's my deputy, he got a master, but he got it out of the country.
Okay.
So that's really what it is. So when I started giving them the information, they were so happy. And when I said to them, we need to appreciate our government. We need to appreciate, especially this government, under the leadership of His Excellency, because there have been a lot of progress in the community. Like Jeff was at the Disability Summit. I can tell you from the time the commission was established, we've not had the president of any president sitting with us for even 5 minutes, my brother. Before I tell you 4 hours. And when he arrived at our meeting, like the receptionists were saying, 1 hour passed now, he's still here. 2 hours gone, he's still here. And that testimony is among us as we sit and talk about it. And the development partners, we've had visit of country representatives.
Well, sometimes
and so forth. And we're so appreciative of this. Good news is that we've been able to sign the rolling work plan for the first of its kind for UNICEF. This rolling work plan is usually signed by government, ministries, and agencies. Over the years, it has been signed by Ministry of
What is
Finance
it?
Development Planning, Ministry of Internal Affairs, and LAGIS. It's the plan like you become an IP, an implementing partner where UN work with you directly. So you are directly part of their work plan. And not like passing through any agency that they can support, but they support you directly.
As an implementer.
As an implementer, we signed that document, and UNICEF is about to conduct an assessment beginning with 2 counties. Hopefully, it may be Bapolu and that of Grand Crew. We want to have aggregate data on persons with disability, which will also help in development processes. We are working on the process of identification, but they are starting this assessment that will also feed the census in the shortest possible time.
Okay,
So
let me
those
just
are
ask
some
this
of the
question, then we
drivers.
can pick few calls and go because we're out of time.
Yeah.
The director had to go for a meeting with, I think, one of the UN coordinator of residents, something like that. Oh, I think you know Perkins, bro. He said he's the president of Universal Liberia Disability, the group there. He said, ask Madam Pavey about the US students with disability complain on the level of difficulty we face we are faced with ranging from access to classroom, lack of bathroom, lack of access to campuses, lack of assistance for students with disability, and NCD's neglect for students with disability at the campuses. All since we have written the commission to assist, she has been hesitant.
Thank you,
Perkinsburg.
Perkins. I know Perkins very well.
Yeah.
His organization was even brought on board as OPWDs, and we're working with them. Perkins, the step to medium mass begin with one, like I've always said to you people. We are currently working on the process of the empowerment. I remember I met the president of the University of Liberia, and we had some conversation. The issue of access at the University of Liberia is something that I face. I graduated from the University of Liberia in 2011. There were times I used to stand because when I walked from GD to GH, by then we were all in town with everything. Everybody have taken their seat. Sometimes people would not want to wake up to give me seat. I stood many days in Captain Note up to 400 level. So I understand what happened there. So what happened, I was able to meet with the president of the University of Liberia, and I was able to discuss it with also the special project department of His Excellency, that we see how best one of those dumps, like from the male side, a dump can be provided, the ground floor, so that we made it accessible and fix the bathroom and door and everything, so that when you are attending as a person with disability, you can be there for 2 or 3 years. When you graduate now, you become independent. So practically that process is about to start. We did an assessment there with the issue of the RAM and everything. So with this empowerment we are about to receive, those are our target. We know there are some who want to go to school. We're going to prioritize that. The fund, the moment we receive the fund, we're going to come right on this radio, tell you the amount and how we're going to go about it. That's how open we've been doing the work. So don't worry, there's solution right at the door, and you reminded me the right time. Sorry we couldn't see you in yesterday's meeting, but hey, we are on course, and that problem will be solved hopefully before the end of June. I can assure you. Thank you so much.
I think we could just take the part and comment. We would have loved to pick calls, but again, we press your time. We got 1 minute to 10 at 10. We need to play the jingles that will raise our money here.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we just have to. It's interesting.
And I think she said
Malapepe will
relatively
come
enough.
back again.
Yeah.
Then we can activate the lines. We will always keep extending invitation to her because she's doing extremely well since her appointment as the chairperson and executive director by President Ware. So in a minute, we can just take your party comment, Madam Executive
So
Director.
to person with disability, I want to say to you, all is not lost. We are already there. I don't want to tell you say we will get there, but we are already there. And the reason I'm smiling is, sometimes when you are in a situation for a very long time, and sometimes the light is coming, you don't know, but the darkness is so deep, and in the darkest part of the hour is when the light shows up.
That you see the
I
light
can
at the end
tell
of
you,
the tunnel.
yeah, at the end
You
of
can
the
see
tunnel.
it.
I can see
How
it. and
far
I
is
can-
that?
It's very short, and it's almost right here. So, again, please let us unite. Let us be together. We want to say thank you to His Excellency Ambassador George Mano. We remain forever grateful, and to our sister and president of the Coalition of Political Party Women Liberia, Ambassador Bono. You remain a sister, our Mother Cloud. Hey, we salute you. And I can say you will not be disappointed. We are here and we will continue to serve our community. Thank you. Thank
Madam
you so much.
Daytona Pebe is the chairman on the Commission of Disabled or Disability in Liberia. A pleasure talking to you.
National Commission of Disabilities Chairperson, Executive Director.
So, welcome back from Nigeria again. And maybe, how do they say, thank you?
From Nigeria?
Yeah.
I
Igbo,
wanna
Yoruba.
know-
You didn't speak anything other
Sorry.
than English.
I'm
She
so
just-
sorry that I didn't speak. I was just at a hotel with a meeting.
You didn't see anyone who spoke anything other than English.
No, we're just speaking English. Sorry.
Okay, so we
Welcome
are
back.
wrapping up
Thank
now
you.
this weekend's presentation
thank
of
you
the
so much.
Freedom on the Rise.
So
Thank
that's
you, Madam
all
Baby.
we have for you.
Jeff Jefferson and I'm a Papa presentation. I know Abraham Political Budget said to say we're rushing with the show without even picking sufficient calls. Yes,
Yeah,
because
we
of time.
we
have
press with
technical
time.
glitches
In
and
our
so
in our game of
we
broadcasting
couldn't
is
let
time.
Madam Pepe to go because she has come, so we had to let go of Investor Conant to speak with her briefly. But we will always keep extending invitation. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Monday, Austin Kawhi and Abu Sharif will be here. But this has been a Jeff Jefferson and I'm a Papa presentation. Have for yourselves a very pleasant weekend from from Monrovia in Curse, Liberia. Yeah.